Man, welcome back to a podcast about movies. My name is Luis.
My name is Matt Harvey.
I'm Drew. We got a soundtrack of one of the best movies of all time. Gladiator 1. It's a great movie.
All right, so that's how we started off.
No, is it not one of the best movies of all time?
It is. It's a great movie.
Okay.
Here's what I got to say, too, though.
Hey, what?
Go ahead.
I just want to thank all of the studio execs, the producers.
What is he doing?
No, this last weekend, I was just sitting there. I was like, man, I'm happy to be a movie fan, because it was they had a movie for everybody this weekend, for the theater people, for maybe the girls. You'd be more swayed towards Wicked, but for the men, you'd be more swayed towards Gladiator. They had fans of action, for everybody. Really, just thank you. And then we have a Disney movie coming this week. It is a great time to be a movie fan.
Start the cartoon.
All right.
Here's what I got to say, too. For that one fan, you know who you are. Wanted to comment on us saying we're wasting our time.
Let's address it.
Wasting our money.
He's winning by us addressing him.
No, he's not winning because we're not wasting our money. Because we have got to. We
we're just having a good time.
Money on
a great time.
We have not spent any money on this.
This is just what we love to do.
The only thing we spend money on is Bunch of Crunch, popcorn, ices, and our AMC StubHub
Facts.
membership.
Well spent. Well spent. I'll do it again.
Me and Matt got the combo for Gladiator, and we fought over who got the points. And I won. I got the points.
He did.
You guys rock, paper, scissors?
I was so bad.
Two $5 activated.
I need.
No, we were legit fighting in the line over.
And the guy was like,
guys.
I'm excited for Moana this weekend. We'll have that review once Matt gets back from Thanksgiving break. But right now we're going to talk about our reviews on Gladiator 2 and Wicked.
Can we start off with Wicked, please?
Yes, we're going to start off with Wicked.
Love to start off with Wicked.
We're going to start off with Wicked. We're going to start off with Wicked. We're not going to go to Gladiator 2 yet.
Okay.
But Wicked 2 or Wicked part 1.
Okay.
Wicked part 1.
Wicked part 1.
Let's do ratings. Ratings of the movie.
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
Okay.
You want me to start?
I can start.
Okay.
I gave it 8 out of 10, and then on Letterboxd 4 out of 5.
Okay.
9.1 out of 10.
A 9.1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my second best movie of the year.
Second.
Yep.
Wow.
Dune 2, remember my rating on that? 9.9.
Yeah, that was insane.
Legendary.
Sitting with it, I think I'm closer to Luis. I think I'll give it a 8.1, 8.2 for a musical, for going in the realm of musicals, out of 10. And yeah, I'll sit there.
Seems
for a
like we
second.
all liked it.
Yeah, it was a very enjoyable movie. It was kind of slow at the beginning, but once it got to like the more musical popular numbers that everyone knows and everything, I think it got more interesting. The story to it was really good. I enjoyed the story.
I think what did it for me is I'd never heard any of the musical numbers. I didn't know the story of anything, and so I was like seeing it for the first time. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And
I will say, seeing it with Jamisi was pretty cool because she saw the musical and she knew some of the songs, and so like there was a part where the people who were in the originals showed up, and like she was getting excited, and so it was more of this thing of understanding like the parts where people were getting hyped, like why they're getting hyped about the movie.
And we get hyped for stuff like that with Marvel and stuff like that.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So I thought it was cool.
I think the downfall for me of the movie though was there was like just like a section of the movie where I was like, what's even going on? Like I just zoned out. I was like, I'm just not here.
Same.
Like I just wasn't there the whole time.
Same.
Like it was between when they became friends and when they met the wizard is that part right there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Really?
It's just here.
When they went to the dance, and that's when they did Popular.
No, I'm saying when she became friends with her,
Like
all the way to the
after
wizard,
that
I was
point.
just like,
After that point.
that section was just like, okay. And I think that was like 30 minutes of that.
Yeah, I think the best songs by far were Popular and
Defying Gravity.
Defying Gravity, for sure.
I think this movie on a whole, as a production scale, from everything to acting, Ariana Grande, she surprised in how well she did at acting. Was just top of the line.
Do you not think that she does the same role though?
I was about to say, I don't think she played a role that she hasn't played before.
Well, who else has she played?
In that same role, she was what's her name for Victorious? Like
Kat.
Kat. Like
Kat is the same
she
kind
acted
of
the exact same way.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not,
I think
and I'm not trying to take anything away from her.
That's
It's
what they
more
made
so-
Glinda out to be, and so I think that's more on the casting department for casting her in that role, and making it. Because you go back and watch Glinda, in the original play, she embodies Ariana too, and so I think great casting.
Yeah.
So, but it's no secret that like she's the best. It's the best role she's ever done, for sure.
I think production wise though, very good.
Yeah.
I would love to see.
There's so much going on the screen.
Yeah, listen to me when I say this. Like, it doesn't have to happen, but a Wizard of Oz remake with this production, I would love to see.
I agree.
I would love to see it.
And I'm appreciated how they did an actual lion
Mm-hmm.
instead of the
Yeah.
stupid
Yeah.
costume, which
Yeah.
that's in the 50s. You can't blame them. But I would love to see a remake
Yeah.
of Wizard of Oz with this level of.
It's
CGI.
cool. I think
Yes.
it's cool because I've seen The Wizard of Oz so many times, and watching the backstory of how this all came to play. Like, oh, the lion talks because the lions are supposed to talk in Wicked, and all this kind of stuff. And oh, the Oz is literally actually a horrible person, and the Wicked Witch is really not wicked. They make her out to be that. Like, it's really cool. We'll see what happens in part 2 though, for sure.
Yeah. And to make, it's one of the first plays, made one of the first stories to make a bigger thing about the villain. To make us understand the villain, or I don't know.
Question. Why can't she get wet?
We
I
haven't
don't
discovered
know.
that yet.
I think it's her speeches.
Because even did you catch it in the movie where she put the umbrella up over her and she's just like, "Yeah, you can't get wet," and it's just like, did that start from her being a kid? Like,
or is
was
that
she
just
not-
a witch in those times? Like,
Yeah.
because like, what's her name? Why am I blanking on the actress's name?
Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh. Like, she couldn't even get wet.
Yeah.
Like, they put the umbrella here. Sorry, sir. Here's the thing that I have. My theory. I believe the wizard had an affair with her mom, and that the witch is actually the Oz's daughter.
Do you know what happens in part 2?
No.
No.
No. Jamesia does?
Yes.
Okay. Thank the Lord it's just a year.
But
Yeah.
that's what I believe, because when you look at the affair that's happening, you see the guy who comes. He's wearing a
The
green
black
suit.
dude.
He's not black. You can't see his face.
No, it was another black dude.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's a black dude?
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it
You see his
was.
face.
I never saw his face.
You
And
saw
I
they,
his
remember
face,
laughing because
yeah.
it was like her husband was like this weird white guy.
they
And
never
then
showed his face. I
They
swear.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
He's a black dude. He was kind of looking like he was like,
Yeah.
I thought they were trying to cover his face the whole time.
Nah.
no,
You sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
theory
Mm.
debunked.
Interesting.
I'll say
I
this.
still have my theory.
I'll say this. I appreciate this movie. I'm grateful for this movie. I don't think it is the best musical I've ever seen. I'll put it in top 5 musicals. Maybe even argue top 3. But I don't
Do that.
I don't think I could put it at number 1, number 2 for sure
It's
yet.
good.
Of the year, I don't think it's making my top 5.
It'll make my top 10.
I think it'll make maybe honorable mentions for top 5, maybe. But I had a great time with it. It's a great musical. I would encourage everyone to go see it. If you don't like musicals, of course, it may not be your cup of tea, but you could still appreciate it as a movie. But yeah.
I'm also ready to see how her sister becomes the Wicked Witch of the West
East.
or East,
Yeah.
because that would be cool.
Yep.
but
I think it was great. It didn't feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes for me at
No,
all.
No, I
disagree.
did. It did.
disagree.
It felt
I
like
was
that.
like,
I was ready to go at one
when
point.
she flew and then you hear the to be continued, I was like, really? It's over already? Like, that's what I was
I'm
like.
telling you, when the part came where I was like, "What's happening?" I'm just
This
zoning
movie
out. I was
locked
like,
me
"I
in
want this."
from beginning.
I literally looked at my watch and I
I
was
was
like,
ready to go.
I
I'm not gonna lie.
I remember in game, the 3 hours, like holding my pee. I remember I haven't done that in a movie since in game. And Wicked, I was holding my pee because like I wanted to see what happened.
"Nah, if I had to pee, I would go pee."
Yeah.
During this movie,
Yeah.
it just wasn't it for me. I think Greatest Showman's still a better musical.
And then
in my opinion.
she gets off this broom and she takes off like made of steel. You see the, and she takes off into the sky. I'm like,
The ending was awesome. I was like,
yeah.
in my theater, standing ovation.
Do you guys think that Ariana, if she didn't get captured, would have gone with Elfie?
Well, Elfie took all the blame. She said, it's my fault. Punish me. And that's when she flew off.
But at the same time, they were about to go out into the balcony and take off on the broom. Ariana Grande might have gone
Yeah, they
with
were
her.
about to team up.
Would have been amazing.
That would have been tight.
All right.
We'll
Well,
see.
that's Wicked. That's our
Gladiator
review.
2.
Gladiator 2. Here's our reviews. Drew, do you want to start it off?
Yeah. You know, I set a pretty low review when I first watched it. Sitting on it more, you know, I'd bump up the score a little bit. Talking with people who have seen it, and yeah, the quality of it. I'll just say the score. 8.1.
Okay. Mine is 8.8, 8.9.
Honestly, I want to say 8.9, 9.0. I'd say 9.0. I'd give it. I think I'd give this my number 2 movie of the year pretty easily.
It's at my number 2.
And let me go into why. One, this movie had so many things that translated back to the first one, where Russell Crowe didn't have to be in this movie, but it's still built off this idea of Maximus, just the same way as like in the new Planet of the Apes, the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or whatever. How Caesar's dead, but they're still playing off this idea of who Caesar was. Like they portrayed that beautifully in this movie.
Good take.
And I even love the main actor. You know a movie's good when you want to be the main actor, where you're like, there's this part where he's running up the stairs when he's about to go fight Pedro Pascal, and he's like running up the stairs, fire. You just like, yeah, bro, like this is how I'd want to run up the stairs, or this is how I see myself going into battle. And there's just so many parts in the movie where you're like, I want to be him. I want to be in this battle, fighting or leading in this way. And so I thought it was fire. I thought it was amazing. A great movie.
Visually, it was amazing. Like, I loved every single part of it. I loved all the gladiator scenes in it. I think Paul Mescal played this role really well.
100%. 100%. Like he passed. Russell Crowe passed the torch to him like in a legendary way. Like he's running with it.
And the thing is, like,
I don't.
a lot of people.
Was it a passing of the torch?
Or him stepping into the role.
A lot of people, I've seen reviews. A lot of people say Denzel had the best acting. I don't believe that's true.
No.
I don't believe that's true in this movie. I really believe Paul.
Yeah, I wasn't bought into Denzel's character.
I think they didn't know what to do with Denzel. They just wanted him in the movie.
I think Denzel just played Denzel, where they kind of let him just do whatever.
Someone said, it was funny. They said it's Training Day, but in this time, that's what Denzel was playing. Was Training Day.
Okay, I figured it out for me. The thing that bothered me with him. One, Denzel played a villain again, where you're not really used to seeing him be a villain, except in Training Day. Two, you see him get kind of hurt, decapitated, and you're just like, sorry, spoiler warning.
He doesn't get decapitated.
Or
His hand.
He gets his
Yeah.
hand cut off.
His hand slices off.
That's
So,
a
like-
head decapitated.
So like you look at that and you're like, I don't like seeing Denzel get hurt. But at the same time, in the movie, he was kind of zesty, but he was still kind of this. I don't know. Like it's just a character you haven't seen Denzel play before, and it's just like, okay, like I don't know what to do with him doing this. Like it doesn't feel weird because usually he's the main character, good dude, good guy. And it's just, I don't know. It was just weird to see. I think he did act in a great way. It was just hard for me to see him in a different light as a new person. But I think he did great acting.
And what makes me mad about this, about people's reviews on this, is like, oh, it's just the same as the first one, or oh, it's not as good as the first one. I literally went into this saying I'm not comparing it to the first one, and that's what I think a lot of people did, and why this review is so low.
I think it was completely different than the first one.
Like,
Maximus didn't.
yes, he
Maximus
lost his
didn't-
family.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yes, he became a gladiator, but nothing else from that was the same.
Thinking about it, it really is quite similar.
What? Okay.
Where the motives behind the main gladiator is a death in his loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the lowest of the low in the same city. A slave buyer or a gladiator buyer buys him, trains him, tells him of the way. He gets in his first fight. The crowd starts to realize hope. Then the crowd ends up taking over the Caesars.
But
it's
that
pretty
wasn't because
similar.
of,
And,
but it wasn't
and there's
because
also
of. But it
people
wasn't because of Lucius though.
I think it's different.
Well, here's the thing. They changed slight stuff. Hey, let's make the Caesars 2 people instead of 1. Let's make the slave buyer be the bad guy instead of being on the gladiator side. They change really slight details. And so that's why I think people's beef with this movie is it really is the same linear story, but they change slight things
But
to make it
but I
look
don't think
different.
so because
I don't think that's true
because
either.
Maximus in the first one literally is going after the emperor.
He's
and
a
because
Roman general.
He is yes, a Roman general too.
Yeah,
and he's
and
like
that's another
everyone,
thing too. They
like
changed.
he's the celebrity there already. Like he's already a celebrity in this place, and now you're putting him as a gladiator.
and they changed
then
that
you're
too.
bringing
And that was probably the
a
biggest
nobody
change.
who is a somebody who becomes a somebody at the end of it all.
But
And
he's
you're
not
just
the
like,
reason Rome rises up. Really,
Yeah.
like it's not him. It's because of Acronus.
Maximus didn't get the throne in the first one. When Lucius actually does get the throne, he didn't want it. Like same thing in the first one. Like Maximus didn't want it either, but he ends up getting it. I think there's
and
big differences.
that's what I'm saying. Slight changes of like going the opposite direction of where they went with the first one. He did get the throne in this one. He didn't want in the last one. There's one emperor. There's 2.
In some
blah, blah, blah.
instances, it does have to be like they're gladiators.
Like they didn't reinvent really.
But how do you
How do you
reinvent the gladiator
reinvent a
thing?
gladiator
Because
thing?
listen,
Exactly.
have you seen a gladiator movie since Gladiator?
Yeah. No, you haven't.
Exactly.
The last good one was Gladiator. And so, yes, Sean said this, that people are complaining, do we really need more Gladiator content? Well, the last one we got was Gladiator 1. And so, yes, we should. And we should be excited to get Gladiator content. And so, it's a good movie. I can understand people's arguments because most of these people saw Gladiator 1 in the theater when they were younger and they grew up in it. And so, but
Drew, can you say your statement that you said? Because I
Which
want the
one?
world to see this, and I want you to. I truly want to know if you still
in
believe
the
it.
car.
which one?
The gladiator scene.
Oh.
Do you actually?
Listeners know how much I love Dune 2. And one of the best scenes in Dune 2 was Fade Rotha's entrance with the gladiator in the arena. And all the gladiator scenes in Gladiator 2, they were cool, but I don't think any of them brought the same level of wowness to me like Fade Rotha's in Dune. And so my statement was that Dune 2 scene was better than all the gladiator scenes
So you
in
still
the
believe that?
Coliseum. Yes, I do. I do.
Why you smiling?
Because I'm just waiting for you
To cook you?
yeah, it's fine.
We'll let you make it, bro.
All
I'll
right.
let you make it.
I'm not gonna let you cook this. I'm not gonna cook you right now.
Okay.
But I will say that.
Forget that, boy. We cooking you, boy.
All right, what you got?
Okay, first off, in Dune 2, that gladiator scene, most of the people he fought were drugged.
Mm-hmm.
This man opening gladiator scene fights a monkey, a baboon,
Mm-hmm.
takes its teeth out with a chain, and he bites that mug,
Mm-hmm.
bites him.
Yeah.
You know how crazy that is?
That is wild.
And you're saying every other scene is worse than the gladiator scene in Dune 2?
I think you missed my statement. I said no scene in Gladiator 2
Made you feel the way that...
made this feeling of wow, this is sick. Now, the scene in the water had the ability to, but I felt like it was cut way too short.
Horrible take.
I felt like it was cut way too
Horrible
short.
take. That honestly was one of the best scenes.
Yeah, I remember being like, oh, there's sharks. I didn't know there were sharks they didn't show that in the trailer. And so I was like, oh crap, we're going to see Lucius escape a shark. But like we saw 2 people fall off a boat and get eaten by a shark, and I was like, okay, we could have got it a lot more from that. But oh well, it was sick that they did that.
I think there's so many great Gladiator. You got the Gladiator scene with the rhino scene. That scene goes hard. I think that's even better.
It was cool.
You have the water scene. Whatever you say about that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Then you have Paul Mescal versus Pedro Pascal. That scene alone was amazing.
It was good.
Because one, how did that not put you through emotions that Dune 2 didn't do? You saw Pedro Pascal.
You know what happened with Pedro Pascal?
Yes.
No, you know what happened during that scene? It was when people were coming in and they were, I don't know why they were in the theater, but they were trying to get people to get up, and I was really distracted. And one thing led to another, and I looked at the screen, and Pedro was dead.
Yeah.
And so I missed that whole scene.
Exactly.
And I was pissed.
Because you had Pedro Pascal literally do, made my knife chip and shatter to his own people. To his own people.
That.
He did. He went like
okay, he
right
did
here.
that. But let's not forget.
Okay,
what
but
Dune
he
does.
put the blade right here where you were already like, oh my gosh.
He did this to
This
his
is
own
about to go down.
his own men in his army, and he did that to them. He said,
Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
sliced them
And then
up
just
too.
goes
He
at 'em.
sliced them up.
It took them out easy.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
And then Paul Mescal came out and was like, "Let's do this thing."
And again, they weren't drugged.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
And then you have Paul Mescal.
I think they rushed that scene too.
I don't think they did. I think that's
Listen, here's the thing. I thought they were gonna put Pedro through the gauntlet, where they were gonna bring out 5 gladiators. Oh, let's bring out 10. Oh, let's bring out a big one, and then Lucius. But he fought 5, killed him. Then here comes Lucius pulling up.
That's not realistic though.
Well, the gladiator
He
was a
doesn't have the
gauntlet.
endurance of a running 10 marathons. Like,
Well, I mean,
And here's the thing. I think the
fighting
best.
a rhino is not really that realistic either.
What
Yes, it is.
do you guys? I want to know y'all's opinion. What is the best scene in this whole movie?
I mean,
Here's mine. The prison break scene. I think that's the best scene ever, where he goes from the prison break to go save his mom.
I think you arguably get the best speech right there. This movie was very quotable too, by the way.
Where death is, we are not.
We're not.
Where we are, death is not.
And then
that's a quote from the first one, yes?
no,
Water still, a point is still a
I think it is.
it's not from the first one.
I think it's when he rallies his army in the first scene in the first one. He says, "Where we are, death is not."
Now when he
And then he
said
says, "Strength and honor."
what happens here echoes in
Yeah.
eternity.
But I
that's
also
from
think
the
that
first one.
the death one is too.
I don't know. Fact check me, but I don't think it is. But yeah, it's my number 2 movie of the year. I'm hoping that Moana 2 can make a strong comeback, or even Mufasa. Those are the only movies I see making somewhat of an impact for the year. But
I think
Gladiator
Lord of the
2,
Rings might be a sleeper.
I think Mufasa can make it in the top 5 of mine.
yeah.
But here's the thing, and Drew and Matt don't agree with me on this. Dune 2 has gotten further and further out of my top. It's getting further and it's closer and closer out of my top 5.
Let's address this. Let's start this. Let's
We don't
do
need to
this.
address this.
No,
That's the end of the episode.
No.
That's the end of the episode.
Here's the thing. You have not found this year an acting performance better than Timothée Chalamet as Paul Atreides. You have not found an acting performance with.
Yes, I have. I literally watched. But you haven't seen Sing Sing yet, which I told you guys to watch.
The whole lineup in that movie.
You haven't seen
Dune
Sing
2.
Sing yet.
In Dune 2, from start to finish, I could still watch this movie and
I would give you Furiosa.
and still be. Oh,
No.
Anya Taylor-Joy does a great part in Furiosa.
She does
What
great, but
the-
it's not.
I think y'all are still stuck on the whole. My name is Paul Muad'Dib Atreides.
No.
That scene that
Throughout the whole
you guys are
movie.
on that still, and I think you
No.
guys are still on the end scene of that movie.
Luis, throughout the
I-
whole movie, he went crazy.
the worm scene, the scenes before that. where
I've
he's
now
stepping
realized
into
I've
it.
now realized that he did a lot of things too easy, and that's why I'm kind of
Well, he's
a
the
little.
Messiah.
That's the story. That's the book. You can't beef with him because the story's
Still.
written like that.
I just don't think it's not top 1 anymore.
It's not.
It can't be
it's not,
top.
Furiosa does not compare to it.
I'm not putting Furious in front of it.
You said Furiosa.
No, I said acting wise.
And you put the Wild Robot above it.
Yes.
Which is horrible.
Because the Wild Robot does more to me than the Dune 2 did.
The Wild Robot is a great movie. Arguably, it's probably top 5 for me this year. I don't know where it is. I'm thinking top 3, maybe. Depends on Moana 2 and Mufasa. But let's not act like the Wild Robot is anywhere in the same building as Dune 2.
I'm not gonna lie,
That's
Luis.
pretty disrespectful.
I'll
No,
give
it's not.
the Wild Robot had a great heartfelt story.
Yes.
It was a great hour and a half.
Yes.
Great animation.
Amazing animation.
But Dune 2,
It's not even close.
it's like comparing the Chiefs to a college football team.
That's not true.
Yeah.
It's like comparing
Listen.
Brooklyn's best
I need
pizza
y'all
to I don't
Domino's?
know, to Domino's or something. It's not in the same building.
Dune 2 didn't do that much. I'm realizing it now. It didn't. Yeah, I think y'all are still stuck on it. Y'all are still stuck on it.
Yes,
That
I'm
movie
still
is
stuck
massive.
on it because
That's great. It was a
best
good movie.
this
It was
year.
it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
No. It was a
good movie.
An amazing.
It was a good movie. The cinematic, the picture, amazing. I'll give you that.
No.
The acting, it was all right. It was good.
What?
Story, dude.
What acting was
Besides
okay in that
Timothy,
movie?
who else?
Oh my God.
Please tell me.
What do you mean?
Zendaya, Florence Pugh,
Lawrence Pugh didn't have
Gurney.
any scene.
Gurney.
What's his name? Thanos.
Stilgar,
Yes. What are you saying?
Hold up.
the Baron, freaking Austin Butler.
Rabbit.
Come on, bro.
What? Okay, hold up.
Austin Butler went
did not-
insane.
Gladiator scene. Hold on.
Okay, now you want to talk about the Gladiator scene?
Okay,
You can't.
that compared to Gladiator 2.
What I'm saying
but
is
in
that
movie
what I'm
alone-
saying is
in that
Austin
movie
Butler
alone-
did nothing really in that movie.
Oh
He
my
barely
gosh.
spoke.
bad.
He barely spoke.
bad.
He barely spoke.
That's
And you're
so
gonna
bad.
talk about Batista?
Okay,
He's a bad
if that's-
actor.
if that's the
and you're gonna
case-
talk about Florence
if
Pugh?
that's
She
the
did
case-
nothing in the movie.
If that's
She
the
barely
case-
did anything in the movie.
Okay.
Your girl's also in it.
If that's the case, Luis, then why did you walk around 2 weeks to a month after the movie
May thy knife chip and shatter.
quoting the movie?
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Okay,
Why
and
did
then
you
am
shut
I
up, boy?
not gonna do that right now? Am I
boy.
not gonna do that right now with Gladiator when it says water still a point is still a point? I'll still do the same thing.
No.
Yeah,
bro.
and you like it.
Cause it's a great movie.
And you said what? It's your number one of the year.
It's my number 2.
Number 2 of the year. And so why does
But I
Dune
think
keep
it's
getting
better than
lower?
Dune.
No.
I think it's better than Dune 2.
It's not, bro.
It is.
Straight up. Like,
I truly believe it's
Eh,
better than Dune 2.
I went into this movie hoping that it beat Dune.
That's great,
I
Matt.
went into this movie
That's great,
because
Matt.
Gladiator is in my top 25 movies
Matt,
ever.
that's great.
The first one.
That's great,
Now,
Matt.
here's the thing. You watched the same movie we did.
Yes.
You know. I think you're just doing this just to pull a
I'm
stunt.
really not.
Like, I really...
I am realizing.
Luis,
I am realizing in my
really-
life. I am opening my
I
eyes
really
to bigger and better things. Because
don't
Dune
think
2
that
isn't
you
the
will.
best out there.
You guys are asking. I don't think it's the best movie of all time, but it is far and
You have it at
away.
your number 2. I don't want to hear it.
It is the best movie
It's my
this
number
year.
5 of
Of all time?
number 6.
What?
Number 5 of all time. Yeah.
Exactly.
It is the best movie of 2024 by far.
Far and
No, it's
away.
not.
Yeah.
Far?
Yes.
Far.
Yes.
And it's
Y'all
be-
are insane.
Yes.
and it's the best
Y'all are
movie.
insane.
It's better
Yes.
than.
Y'all are insane.
It is.
It is.
Bro, Gladiator...
Y'all need to get off of it.
No.
Get off
No,
of it,
I won't.
please,
I'm
bro.
not.
I
It is
won't.
not that
'Cause
great.
Guess what?
It's not that great.
When part 3 comes out, you're going to be hating too.
Yeah, you're
and you're going to
really-
realize
it's
that
not that
it's
good.
arguably one of the best franchises that has ever come out.
The fact is, y'all were comparing it to Lord of the Rings, and that's
Yes.
one of y'all's favorite. Is insane.
Hold on.
It's insane.
Hold on.
It's
Go
insane.
back to what we said. We said it has the potential to age like wine, like Lord of the Rings has
The
aged.
first one's boring.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Go-
it is.
You got to go back.
The
and,
fir- I did
okay,
watch. I've
argue.
watched all
wait,
of them.
shut up.
I've watched
shut
all of them.
Up,
Go
shut
ahead.
up. Stop yelling.
Go ahead.
You don't even like Lord of the Rings.
You're right. I don't.
You said it was boring, and you had to watch it in chunks, and so you're not gonna like these type of movies.
I like
And
the Dune Part 2.
Listen,
All right, go ahead. I'll let you talk and then I'll
in
speak.
the fact that your number one is an hour and a half long animated movie, it shows what your taste in movies is.
Boom.
It's not
And
true.
so
Boom.
Dune Part 2 is not going to do it for you the way that it's going to do it for someone who loves the slow burn journeys of movies like Lord of the Rings.
That's a great argument. That's a great argument.
And so
That's a great argument.
I can't
Go ahead.
expect you to not.
How are you gonna say this, Drew? How are you gonna say this when one of my favorite movie series of all time is Harry Potter, and I could sit through 8 episodes, eight movies? How can I sit through 8 movies, Drew, in one day? It's the same thing as
It's not
watching.
the same.
Yes, it
It's not
is.
the same.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not the
What's the
same.
difference, Drew? Because they're better. They're better than everything.
Harry Potter is fast paced.
Yes. Yes.
Harry Potter
They are.
has 8 movies
Yep.
that are around 2 hours to 2 hours
They're
and
2 and
20
a half.
minutes.
They're 2.5 hours each.
Okay.
They're 2.5 hours each.
Lord of
That's
the Rings.
almost close to 3 hours.
Lord of the Rings is 4.5 hours each movie.
Okay. What does that have to do with anything? What I'm saying is that I can sit through a long movie, Drew.
I'm not saying you can't sit
You
through
just
a
said I
long
couldn't.
movie.
You said
I'm
what my
not-
movie
I'm
taste
not-
was. You just said
I'm
what my
not-
movie taste was an hour and a
Luis,
half.
No.
Yes, you did.
Listen. Lord of the Rings is one of the slowest burn stories of all time.
Yeah, the first one's boring.
Harry
The first one's boring.
Harry Potter, you jump from school to school year, and they have different things.
I would say
we're literally watching this journey of them walk. Like
I would
we're
say the
watching
first
them
one of Harry
walk.
Potter is not entertaining. It's really boring. And you could sit through that.
Okay.
I don't think you could compare them. Like I think
But what I'm saying
what
is,
you get.
but
in
what I'm
3
saying
chili-
is,
okay, 2 hours each versus these movies in extended edition are 4 hours.
we're
bro.
not even on Lord of the Rings. What I'm talking about is Doom Part 2. Is I enjoyed that movie. Doom Part 1 was boring. That's the
Dune Part
difference.
1 was not boring.
It's not
Yes, it
boring.
was.
In fact, after watching Dune 2,
It's so
Dune
much better.
1 is so much better. It really is.
I really just believe that y'all are on it too much.
I
No,
am,
like,
and I'm happily on
here's
it.
the
That's
thing.
fine. Y'all can just
And
just
here's the
I just want you to admit that you're on it too much.
And I couldn't imagine.
If it's our number 1, we're on it.
Yeah.
My thing is this.
No one has to admit that.
Yeah.
I love the movie.
My thing is this. You won't find a movie this year that's even close. And
That's not
again,
true.
Him say Drew laid it out beautifully. He literally did 1 + 1 = 2.
How?
Because he said, even with you not liking Lord of the Rings, your movie that you chose this year was The Wild World Bell, which is 1 hour and 30. It's an animation film.
Okay.
You don't have an appreciation for those types of movies. It's okay. Like
That's not true. I don't know
it
how
is
you guys
true.
are not getting me. How you are saying that?
Harry
Have you
Potter
guys-
is not a.
It's
Not a slow burn.
you have to. There has to be a different comparison or something else. You got to find a different movie because it's not the same.
Have you seen The Bike Riders?
What about the bike
With
riders?
Austin
That's
Butler?
also another long movie.
It's really not that long.
Okay, it's still a long movie and it's still a slow
But
burn.
Dune was also 3 hours.
I sat through Hold up. How you gonna say when I sat through The Godfather?
Did you like it?
Yes,
is it
I
one of your
like
favorite movies
I
ever?
I do like The Godfather. I like 1 and 2.
I've never heard you talk about it.
I literally have talked.
I've never heard you talk about.
Are
The
y'all
Godfather.
joking?
I've never heard. I've never heard you listen to the soundtrack.
We never heard you talk about.
I literally have said I like The Godfather. Are you all joking?
I've never heard that.
All right. Nah,
We
y'all.
ain't never heard you talk about The Godfather, boy.
Literally, go to my list. Go to my list. Go to my list.
Luis, you didn't even rate it.
Cause I haven't seen it forever. I haven't had.
If
I
it
watched
was one of your
before
favorite
Letterboxd.
movies, you would have had that
But
mug rated
I never
up.
said
Boy.
this. Hold up. I never said this was one of my favorites.
Ain't no way,
but I've
boy.
seen this movie. I've seen 1 and 2 and 3.
Stop, bro.
Don't say. But
stop.
that's disrespectful.
Okay.
What y'all said.
The
Is that, no, hold
Luis,
up.
you
Let-
haven't seen 2 either. You haven't even
Yes, I
said
have.
You hasn't said you
But
watched
that is
it.
so disrespectful, saying that this is not my taste
You don't. It's not.
because I didn't like Lord of the Rings, one of y'all's favorite movies. Sorry
And you
that
don't
it's
like
boring.
Dune.
You don't
a
like
lot of
Dune
people
either.
You don't
I
like Dune
did
1.
like Dune.
You don't like Dune 1.
Okay, you're right, because it's boring.
and you said
It's
Lord of the
slow.
Rings 1 is boring.
Huh?
You said Lord of the Rings
Because
1
it is boring.
It's not.
It
It's
is
really
boring.
not.
It's not, bro.
Bro, they're walking to
And that
in a mountain.
exhilarates
They're
you.
walking. They're walking.
One of the most
They are walking.
beautiful
They're
movies.
walking.
Okay.
They're walking.
They are.
They're walking in a mountain.
They're walking in 3
They're
movies.
walking in a mountain.
Yes.
It's boring.
If that's all you got from it, then you're making our point.
They are walking in a mountain. They find this goblin guy.
All right.
They get a ring
why
from
are you
him.
explaining Lord of the Rings 1 to me. What is it?
Because he's saying, is that all you got from it? No, I'll explain it to you if you want me to. I watched the whole thing.
We're saying those aren't your types of movies, which makes sense. Like, bro, we're on Dune 2, but because the acting performance, nothing has come close. There's no better story. There's no better. Like, it's just a beautiful movie that nothing will ever.
I'll
touch
give
this
you it's
year.
a beautiful
we
movie.
gotta go. This is a 30-minute episode.
I'll give you it's a beautiful movie. It's just not the best movie of the year.
It's by far.
It's not.
By far.
It's not.
By
And
far.
I bet you a bunch of people wouldn't agree with you.
I don't give a rip what people think.
That's great. I'm just saying. They
I
wouldn't
think-
agree with you.
I think when it wins Best Picture,
It won't win Best Picture.
That's the easiest.
It won't win Best Picture.
Yes, it will.
I promise you, it won't win Best Picture.
You know, I actually think it's either that or Wicked.
It won't win Best Act. He won't win Best Acting.
I don't know if you will, but
It won't win Best Picture.
hey, well, go out and see Wicked. Go out and see Gladiator. Have a great time doing both.
Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, and yeah, happy Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for, Luis?
Not
As
y'all.
we end.
Not y'all for right now.
I'm thankful that I have 2 great friends. One white from Ohio, one Hispanic from Texas,
Yep.
and that we get to watch movies together.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for my intelligent brain that y'all both don't have.
Wow. That
I
that
do
didn't
not
sound very
feel loved.
thankful, Luis.
I do not feel.
Luis said he was going to
loved.
start being the villain this year in our podcast. I don't know. I think he's still getting jumped.
All right. Well, we love you guys and thank you.
Nice ending, Drew.
I'm thankful for this podcast.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
You're gonna be popular. I'll teach you the proper poise when you